Hello, you beautiful baby. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for clicking this video. I really appreciate it. Welcome back or welcome. Hey girl, hey, it's your girl Tyra. Over here, I basically just tell you all my business, whether I'm vlogging, reading out of my journal, or just sitting down talking to you. You never know. You may have clicked on a video that's about drama or me doing a reaction. Whatever made you click, I'm so glad you did. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, here we are. And I am making a video about Jessica Kent. Why, you ask? Not because I've been watching her, not because I've been paying attention, not because, like I'm even interested. No, not for any of those reasons. It just so happened that a short showed up on my feed, right? They show up for you. You hear snoring. My boyfriend is sleeping, so this is what we get. A short popped up. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, none of her shorts have popped up all this time. Because they do. But like when you read the title, right? When you read the title, that's when you're like, oh shit, I want to click on this. Nothing has made me want to click. And I wish I could remember which short I seen first. But there's been multiple. Then I go over to the Reddit. I haven't been to the Reddit in weeks. Go over to the Reddit, and the Reddit's like, oh, she's trolling us. Oh my goodness, your own Reddit knows that you're like desperate for all of our attention. Nobody is going to talk about Jessica Kent. That's obvious. Because if they were going to, they would have, even addressed the breakup or whatever, right? The breakup died. Nobody gave a shit. As long as I wasn't at least talking about it, nobody was talking about it, except for, of course, the Reddit. Reddit has been private for weeks now, for whatever reason. I don't know how you private a Reddit, but, that's what it's doing over there. So, she's been doing these shorts, and there's, 4 of them. I haven't edited them yet and decided, what I want to react to or any of the things yet. But what I do know is I'm in the mood, and Jessica Kent wants attention, and I'm going to give it to her. I happen to need about 500 more watch hours. I got 500 in the last week. I'm sure I could pull it off. And the same person that Jessica Kent took down less than a year ago will now be monetized on her 3rd channel she has now tried to grow. Because the second one was hacked by a friend. Oh yeah, you bitches want to play with my soul. But in only 8 months, I monetized that 3rd channel. Because I will be fully monetized by the end of May. Facts. Well, truly, you didn't do much to me. You gave me a little break. You let me reflect and, figure out what I want to do here on YouTube. If nothing else, it was a good thing. I got to find the positive and all the negatives, honey. Let's get into these clips, okay? And I'm going to clown her, roast her. Don't know what the kids are calling it these days, but I'm going to have fun with this because I cannot believe she's making these shorts. Trolling is not even the word. Desperate for fucking attention is the word. And I'm sure when I said in my video, this is probably my last video on Jessica Kent, it broke her heart. Jessica, here you go. I have some time today, girl.
I was handcuffed and chained to a bed while I gave birth to my daughter in prison.
And so often people try to discredit that experience and say, oh, no, they can't shackle pregnant women anymore. I gave birth to my daughter in 2012.
I never thought to bring it up because I didn't talk about her, but I have talked to, I think, 3 women who were locked up in the state of Illinois, not Arkansas, in the state of Illinois before 2012, and none of them were shackled during birth. Let's just say, right? She was shackled. I, just using logic, okay, since she wants to bring it up, it might be the only true thing. Let's just be real, because, We don't know. We don't know, right? Like, we just don't know. What happens if there's an emergency? What happens if that baby's heart rate drops and they need to, like, send her for a cesarean and she's handcuffed to the bed? What happens if she has to get in a different position? Like, I've heard women, like, get on all fours and deliver babies sometimes. How are we doing that, right? While having handcuffs on us. It's a weird thing to lie about, but like I said, it could be the only truth. But then again, I know that the prison was called and the prison said they do not do that. She goes on in this short also to say that, like, she didn't heal properly because she couldn't get out of the bed and stuff. I just don't believe that to be true. And it's almost not true, but it could be the only truth of any of her story, though. Think about that. This could be the only truth. Don't believe it, but it could be the only truth.
Maybe it's not a good idea to chain a pregnant woman in labor to the bed. Maybe it's not a good idea to chain her up for 2 days. That is my birth story. You are not a retired dealer. We are not your friend, go home. We generally don't really give a shit about what you're going through because we hear sob stories all freaking day. But now you want to come correct this time. No, homie, you owe from the time before. So we don't care what
I think this is nothing more than her experiences with her drug dealers. Like, she realized, oh, they're not really my friends. Like, what a weird confession. Like, that's your first confession of a drug dealer? Really? People ain't coming correct and the drug dealers ain't your friends? I'm sorry you had to learn that the hard way, boo-boo. That's what happens when you get high on your own supply.
Say they bond you out of jail, for example. This is something I did all of the time. I would bond people out of jail, not because I'm your friend, but because I don't want you to snitch.
This one is so funny. I almost, like, can't laugh. Okay. I have been a drug dealer. I've been a drug dealer as a child. I've been a drug dealer as an adult. Not for many, many years in between. But, you know, I sold weed. I would come to Chicago every weekend to sell crack. I've sold heroin, right? Like, I've sold some bad things, right? Bad fucking things. And never, at no time, did I hold any kind of weight where any of my plugs were going to bail me out of jail. I need everyone to understand something, okay? Number one, it's a fact. When you are involved in an organization, it's literally and almost ultimately unlimited drug access, okay? Like, you can get whatever you need to get and sell it and make your money, and as long as you pay them back and all those things, right? I had unlimited access my whole life. Never once would anyone bail me out of jail because I have enough drugs to be worrying about people snitching. The only people who are getting bailed out of jail are the big guys, right? In the cartel or the fucking... The cartel, I don't know how else to explain it, is going to bail him out of jail because he had 18 keys at his motherfucking house and they want him out of jail so he don't snitch. Why? Why? I even had people that I gave drugs to sell. Why would I bail them out of jail? Why would I care if they snitched and said they got fucking 8 bags from me? That's what I'm saying. It's so funny. I can't laugh. There is no way that you are such a big drug dealer that, number one, you had money to bail folks out of jail, okay? When you get caught with drugs, that ain't no little, like, fucking $100 bond, bitch. Number two, I was best friends with the kingpin his motherfucking self as a child. Never once did he bail a single person out of jail. And I'll bet you I was his right-hand man for a good 4 years. And I'm sure a lot of those people who went to jail for his drugs, I bet you they had a lot. But not enough for him to be bailing them out of jail. Clock that, bitch. You be telling stories.
Most of us, we are also addicted. At least I was too. And I don't need your drama. I got my own drama. I got my own stuff to pay for. I'm gonna bail you out of jail and act like I'm your homie. You hungry? Yeah, that was a rough day. Come on, let me get you something to eat. Then we're gonna go over the importance of loyalty and keeping your fucking mouth shut.
She quickly reminds people that, drug dealers are not your friends because they too are drug addicts, right? Just like herself. She's gonna take you out to lunch and everything, which means she's not only gonna bail you out of jail to make sure that you don't snitch on her for the 3 ounces of meth. She's gonna take you to lunch, and then she is going to have a conversation with you, the addict, about loyalty. Did I just say that out loud? Because again, we're not talking about her having people running drugs for her. She's talking about the addicts who buy the drugs from her. As an addict, let's say you buy a bundle, 12 bags, right? That's a lot for a lot of addicts, I think, because a lot of addicts are like $10, $5 people, that's like addiction, I'm gonna bail you out of jail because you got 12 bags from me.
You're probably gonna sit in jail for a night, right? Get out on an I bond, right? Your signature the next day. Or you're a piece of shit and you keep going back to jail, so they're gonna keep you no matter what. Or they're gonna set your bail to like $1,000, right?
Jessica's gonna come. She's gonna come bail you out, so you don't tell on her for being, some low-level fucking drug dealer. And take you to lunch and talk to you about loyalty. You can't even get your life together and stop doing drugs, but you need a conversation from Jessica Kent after she spends $1,000 to get you out of jail for 12 fucking bags so you don't rat on her and her low-level ass. Who is buying that shit? And why is she doing these?
Co-defendant waited too long to get one of his runners out, and that name was...
My co-defendant didn't take one of his runners out, and he ended up on the paperwork. Who says that? Who says that online? Who talks like that? I literally slowed it down so you guys could hear the words coming. He didn't take one of his runners out. I can't.
Second time today because I'm a prison content creator, prisoner reform advocate. I have a bachelor's degree in correctional program services, so I talk about my time and experience in prison as an inmate.
And one of the things that has been going around since the smear campaign, because I came out about DV and how hard that was for me.
Isn't it absolutely amazing how quickly she forgets the amount of support that she had when she initially released that video with her and Reese when she recorded him? When the Jessica Kent everything opened, it opened, right? Yes, because of the DV. But a smear campaign because you were having a hard time with DV? No, Jessica, that's not what happened. And I get it, like, that's what you tell people, that's what you tell yourself. I, Jessica, didn't do anything wrong. There was a smear campaign because she talked about her DV. Mind is really not where it needs to be, Jessica. Why don't you keep your confessions to yourself going forward as well? I just don't think it's a good time for you, girl.
This has been said to me so many times.
Not all at once.
5 years in the state of Arkansas under the 50% law. There's 2.5 right there.
Okay, you'll have to forgive me here because I really was not focused so much on these lies once other things came out about Jessica, okay? My focus was on something totally different.
But 2.5 years is, I want to say, like, let's say 800 days. 800 days. Okay, that's 2.5 years, 800 days. She served either like 196 days or 296 days. Like, the FOIA shows that. But she's still gonna come on this short and tell you that she did 2.5 years. And you guys heard her. Not all at once. Why is she doing these shorts? How am I being so nice to her? Because, like, I really thought I was going to bug up laughing about this shit. Like, you didn't even serve 2.5 years. Don't worry, she's not done. We got more, don't worry.
In New York, which none of you are entitled to this information, I just overshared. In New York, I was sentenced to 1 1/3 to 3 for criminal sales of a controlled substance.
That is under the Youthful Offender Act.
The only thing I'm going to talk about right here is the Youthful Offender Act. If you look up said Youthful Offender Act in New York, you will see that the Youthful Offender Act is not only to keep youth out of jail, not prison, because the youth can't go to prison, right? Out of jail, but also to help keep their records clean. And instead of sending said child to jail, right, they will put you on papers of some sort, right, like supervision, probation, you know, things of that nature. She can say that she was sentenced to 1 1/3 and 3 and 3 and 7 and 5, because that doesn't mean nothing to none of us, but she always says that. She never says what that means and how much time that even is. She doesn't even call it 1.5 years, you know what I'm saying? No, it's 1/3, 5 and 7, 4. She could have been sentenced to 1/3, 5, 7, 4, but she didn't serve anything because that is the purpose of the Youthful Offender Act. I'll let her continue though, and then we'll talk more.
So no, I didn't serve 5 years all at once. I served 2.5, then I served a 1 1/3 to 3. I got a lot of violations because I just couldn't stay sober. I did a year, a couple of 6-month violations, a few 90-day violations.
I've taken it out, but she actually mentions not being able to leave New York because she was on parole after saying that stuff, right? You're not on parole in New York. You were never on parole in New York. That is not parole. If that is anything, that is probation. And they are two very, very different things.
Do I doubt that maybe she got in some trouble throughout her probation period? Not her jail sentence, not her county jail sentence. No, not the 1 and 3 and 7 and 5. Not that county jail sentence, but throughout her probationary, being on papers, being on supervision. Do I doubt that maybe she had to do 60 days or something? Yeah, like, I mean, that's totally possible, right? And I believe that is paperwork that isn't available to the public through the Freedom of Information Act. But there is no way, since you mentioned and overshared the Youthful Offender Program, that you did 2.5 years county time in upstate New York. You didn't do 2.5 years in Arkansas on your half and half and half and half. Why do you keep telling the same lies when they've already been exposed? I know my channel is gone, but I didn't even focus on the lies. Idiot.
So what do we have as far as ways to torture Jessica Kent today? She is trying to keep her home address private to, like, protect her kids or whatever.
Interesting skit to do when nobody is talking about you, and this shit happened over a year ago. No, you don't want attention. Not at all. But we'll watch a little bit.
Find the address and dox her. Yes, I'll continue to let the world know that she's lying about DV, even though we know that she's not. Oh, and then I could, because I'm in Arkansas, I could get her case file, and then I could just tell everyone that she was a CI.
Ding, ding. we have one thing that was said or shown that wasn't, in fact, a CI document out of this whole video. She's like not lying about one thing.
Reach out to Kason, right, because he's in prison, and get like all the tea.
So I'll just read those letters on my YouTube channel because it's not getting any traction. And maybe if my username, I'll like go viral. I mean, what's right is right, and we need to continue to call her out.
Because she's a liar and a fraud.
Baby girl, Tracy Noel didn't go viral talking about you. And Tracy Noel had the FOIAs. I surely didn't go viral talking about you. But I have to know who the fuck she's talking about, because who is this guy in prison and what tea do they have and where is this stuff being shown on YouTube? Drop that down below for your girl, because I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. Let's just watch some good stuff today.
If she ever gets a bill in her name, I'll figure it out, and then I'll tell y'all, and then you guys can just leak it everywhere. And I can get all the paperwork and like pull FOIA and then like totally botch understanding her paperwork.
Oh, no, 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 no. Tracy Noel did a great job reading your paperwork. In fact, I wouldn't have understood 80% had it not been for her. And it's so interesting that you think you can tell the internet at this point in time that she didn't say your paperwork properly. Why are you trying to erase the facts, the reality? And all of these things happened a year ago. Perhaps, and I'm just like late to the fucking party. This is bring everything back 2025 because I want drama and I'm bored. I'm low-key blown away that she would actually say out of her mouth that Tracy Noel did not deliver the FOIA information properly. She said that from her mouth. What? Jessica.
And I can also like harass every single person in New York State until someone finally gives me her juvenile record, even though I'm not entitled to it. I'm gonna get her yearbook and then reach out to everyone that she like went to middle school with, so that they can like say that like Jessica Kent really was popular and she wasn't bullied. I've never been more proud of a group in my entire life.
I really get it. I know what it's like to have people torture my soul and do horrible things. I don't think it's fair for me to be like, yeah, more horrible things happen to me, because I don't like when people are like, oh, but I didn't do something as bad as you. Either way, horrible is horrible. Should anybody have their exes reached out to, maybe old friends, you know, stuff like that? No, probably not, you know. But I will say, when stuff like that happens to a very small micro creator like myself, it's absolutely, positively, just unequivocally...
Is that the right word? Is that even a fucking word? Because I did not go to college, bitch. Don't judge me. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself.
Inappropriate and just like not needed. But when you're looked into and you have roughly 4 million across all your platforms, supporters, right? And you tell these stories, you tell your life, you know. I know that. I know how that is. I've told my life for 4 years. You tell your life to these people. And one day, someone's like, man, something's real fishy with this bitch. I'm gonna have to look into her fucking FOIA. And I'm sure Tracy Noel didn't say to herself, oh my God, look at this chick. I'm gonna totally go viral if I pull her FOIA. I think she might be lying. Let's be for serious. Okay, let's keep shit all the way funky while we're doing this video. All these things were exposed. Not just exposed, but proven with like government documentation. Like paperwork from the government, from the prisons, from the courts, all the things, right? They were shown. And now, a year and a half later, I don't know how long it's been, probably about a year plus, right, for sure. She wants to come back and do these shorts and act as if she was never, like, busted up for this stuff. That's weird to me. That's, like, beyond weird to me. That's, like, a little cuckoo, if you ask me, okay? Like, if I know that everyone has seen proof that I did such thing, I'm not gonna fucking come back on a year later and be like, yeah, I fucking did 2.5 years. 196 days. Only Jessica. Only Jessica.
Only a chick like Jessica who would join a gang in her 30s with 2 little girls is going to do some ignorant fucking shit like this.
I have to ask myself why. And unfortunately, I drive myself crazy with the whys because I can't think like a fucking weirdo. I don't know how to do it, but like I'm getting better at it. I really am. I know that she is fighting with JD, who is also in the prison reform community. I think a lot of things are coming back up of her being a fraud now that she has opened the gates with JD. That's what I think is happening. So she's trying to reinvent the narrative back to where it began, as if that time frame never happened and her FOIA wasn't exposed and all the fucking things. Like, no, we'll just forget it fucking happened. We'll forget it's even on the internet because it's all there. Or now that OF is out of her life, like, is she desperate? Like, that desperate to, like, this horrible time in her life where, like, everyone tortured her and put her in such a dark place and bullied her and harassed her and stalked her, and, like, you're reopening that? Who does that? Because you, like, have to know that there's going to be people that watch that and they're going to be like, what a fucking liar. Like, dude, I seen the fucking proof. I seen the proofs. I seen it with my own eyeballs, bitch. And I'm supposed to listen to what's coming out your mouth right now? No, that's not how life works. That's not how any of this works. I have talked about my life for 4 years. Has it been used against me? Oh yeah, totally, right? Like, without a doubt. In the most horrible fucking ways at that, right? But can't nobody call me a liar about a single fucking thing that I've disclosed about my life. And I've pretty much disclosed it all. No one's pulled my FOIA and said, look, Tyra lied about this situation. And you know, my FOIA has been pulled. Nobody called me a liar. Because nobody can. Because you can't come to the internet and tell lies to look cool. Who lies about their prison time to look cool? This is why I question all creators around the platform in her generation, because I feel like they all realized, oh my God, I can start lying about my life and like people are gonna buy it and I'm never gonna have to pay the consequences for it. What a weird thing to do. What a weird thing to convince yourself is okay. And I don't talk about prison reform. Like, I don't talk about prison, right? Like, no, I don't talk about prison. That's very serious. But like, I've talked about CPS and gangs and I don't know. I've talked about serious stuff. Can't be a liar face and expect to have this great career online. She's getting heat from JD's people in the prison reform community. Or it really wasn't such a horrible time for her after all. She might have loved it. We all know who the narcissist is, okay? And they do. They love the shit. And, you know, just because I'm not a jerk-off human, I will, you know, give a little grace to the fact that, you know, she's going through a breakup. Is that reason to act out online and, like, start talking about weird fucking shit? No. I mean, I'm going through a breakup, right? And I'm not fucking, like, acting out. Like, you just gotta deal with shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't act out because of it. We're adults. And I'm not saying that I never have. That's why I'm giving grace. And I'm saying maybe the breakup got her acting a little crazy. I'm gonna end this here. I'm, like, really disgusted. I'm really just like, this is just, like, not okay. Who does this? Only Jessica would do some shit like this. Who has the balls? Dude. Facts. I have been exposed for a lot of shit in my past. A lot of shit. How am I gonna come here in 2025 and say that the things that were shown 2, 3, 4 years ago, right, in videos that are still online, still out there, fucking Tracy Noel's shit didn't go nowhere, and come here and say that I didn't do the shit? Just don't know where you get the balls. I don't know where you get the fucking balls. She is what gives YouTube creators a bad name, influencers a bad name, any influencer / YouTube creator that, you know, stands for something prison reform. She gives those people a bad name. How she has any supporters left, I don't know, but she's gonna have them. People are just fucking weird like her, you know, and they want to believe her. And then I also wonder if, because she has grown, so we think, right, if she ain't buying them, because she's grown, if she's not trying to rewrite history for all the new subscribers. You just never know with these people, dude. You just never know. But I'm gonna go. Peace out, girls. Thanks again for coming. Have a great day or night wherever it is you are, and I'll see you on the next one.